Ever since the election, one big thing that everyone has been speculating about is if we are going to see Trump endorse Ripple, ultimately adopting the XRP ledger as well for the US financial system, or even the RLUSD stablecoin, which is a direct tie right back to the XRP ledger, anyways. And this has been one of the biggest things everyone has been speculating on. Now, in this video today, we have so much to really kind of talk about when it comes to this. It feels as if we are so close to actually confirming this because, again, everything that we have been watching unfold for the last, few months since the election, it's been hinting at the fact that Ripple is becoming embedded within the US financial system, and XRP and the XRPL are starting to become a big piece of that puzzle as well. So with that being said, welcome back to the channel, everyone. My name is Nick. For those that are new to the channel, hopefully by the end of this video, you do become a subscriber. So it's very clear that most of this space has been, experiencing a little bit of chop. I think that it's pretty clear, right? I don't think that you guys even need me to say it. In yesterday's noon video, we talked a little bit about the market, where we are at right now, how the cycle is kind of playing out. Now, the big thing is that everyone is losing focus at this point. A lot of people are getting frustrated. They're getting concerned about what's going to be happening next. And it's because of the price action. I mean, this is the last month. There hasn't been much price action since roughly like the beginning and the middle of December. We had a nice little, move to the upside on XRP back in like the beginning or like the middle of January. But outside of that, most of the price action has been just kind of chopping. It's been boring. It's just going sideways. And typically this is the best time to actually be a part of this space because, you don't know whether to buy or sell. But one thing is pretty clear is that if you really kind of look at how the sentiment is shifting, that will give you the answer. And right now, if we look at the sentiment, I mean, it's dead. A lot of people are kind of frustrated. They're, done with crypto at this point. They don't even want to talk about it. Their portfolios are down significantly. Bitcoin's, chopping to the downside while Bitcoin dominance is chopping to the upside. So altcoins are getting slaughtered a bit. And that should give you everything that you really need to know on what you should technically be doing right now. But outside of just price action, right, we are starting to see a shift from the government side, specifically in the US, which is something that I think everyone should be paying attention to because it is going to set the stage for crypto for the next 4 years, obviously, but outside of just the next 4 years, we're kind of on a path for the next 10 plus years in terms of technological evolution and, the revolution happening with crypto tech itself around payments, finance, basically everything that we could think about. But before we dive on into the real big thing here, Coinbase. So, guys, you already know that I am an affiliate of Caleb and Brown. Recently, a good friend of mine, Pharaoh, made a post about Coinbase. In fact, Coinbase was canceling orders. This is something that we are seeing quite often in this space. Now, he is also recommending Caleb and Brown. A lot of my good friends in the space and a lot of you actually that watch have also given a huge thumbs up to Caleb and Brown. And you know what? After utilizing it, I've come to the conclusion that this is one of the best and most trusted exchanges that we have in this space right now. Caleb and Brown, there's a link to it down in the description below if you guys do want to sign up utilizing my affiliate link. This is one of the very few regulated exchanges in the US for US investors. Now, obviously, this is a global exchange. Anyone can sign up. But this is one of the best exchanges out there with 24/7 customer support. It's regulated. Their offerings, listen, they don't offer every single crypto project in this space, but they offer some of the best ones, right? We know XRP's on there. We know HBAR's on there. We know a lot of the big players are on there. So if you guys want to try a new exchange, get away from the centralized exchanges that are canceling orders, doing shady, activity, try out Caleb and Brown. You don't have to stick with it if you don't like it, but if you like it, maybe it will become one of your favorite exchanges in the space. So check it out and let me know what you guys think. Now, outside of that, let's dive on in. So number one, huge narrative floating around this space is the SEC case with Ripple. So if you guys didn't know, we just saw the Coinbase case get paused, just like the Binance case. Expect the SEC to similarly pause the Ripple appeal soon. Now, listen, when we think about what's happening here, it feels as if everything around the SEC, from what we've known about it for like the last 4 years, the tone is shifting. We also know that Doge is going to be investigating the SEC as well, which I think is going to put a big damper on a lot of those cases, including, of course, the Ripple case. This is where we start to see a shift. This is where we also start to see Ripple break out of the shackles and become an even bigger name in the US market. Now, there's a lot here to read over. If you guys do want to really kind of look into this a little bit more, you guys are more than welcome to go check out John Reed Stark over on X. He does a in-depth breakdown of all of this if you really want to get into the full-on details. But the big thing here is that we are starting to see a lot of these crypto cases being paused. And I think that it's because it's highlighting the shift that we are starting to see from the SEC itself. This is very, very exciting to see because, again, it feels like Ripple is about to have all of those obstacles cleared. Now, talking more so about Ripple, right? Ripple is a very interesting company. I mean, let's just be honest here. I make videos every single day on Ripple and XRP, but Ripple is an interesting company, not just because of what they offer, which is a substantial amount of solutions, cross-border payments, tokenization, institutional grade custody and digital asset solutions. Then they also have the stablecoin. Listen, they are a powerhouse, right? But it's not just that. It's the names tied to Ripple. We know the board is insane. Rosie Rios, just to name, one individual, right? Names like that don't just join any board, right? They don't just, do it for fun. She has spoken highly of Ripple for years now. And it's because of what Ripple is offering. When we think about the US market right now, when we think about crypto itself, all right, we know how big this market's becoming. We know how important it is to become a crypto pioneer, essentially. If the US really wants to get behind Silicon Valley 2.0, that's crypto. You are either a leader here or you are falling greatly behind. Ripple is one of the most disruptive and innovative companies this space actually has to offer. And XRP and the XRPL is one of the first major key players when it comes to the actual tech behind this space. So when we see posts like this, which by the way, Brad Garlinghouse reposted, this is actually from Brad Garlinghouse, right? We can go to his account and we can see this is the last reposted post 1 hour ago. Guys, Donald Trump posted 2 articles about Ripple on Truth Social back to back. Now, these are the posts. Number 1 is Donald J. Trump, Coindesk.com. Donald Trump effect bumps Ripple Labs US deals XRP gains. Then the other one is the block. Now this goes to this website, which is Ripple CEO says 75% of open roles are now US based due to Trump effect. Now, if we actually look at Truth, we could see from Truth Social, here we have, this is Donald Trump's account. Here are those back-to-back posts 5 hours ago. This is interesting. Now, again, yeah, we have been focused on these insights. Now, again, a lot of people will say, oh, well, Nick, you're talking about old news now. This is January 6th, January 5th. I don't care if this is 6 months old. The fact here is that the US president just posted 2 articles about Ripple back to back. This was not, let's just post a link real quick. No, this was back to back 2 posts highlighting Ripple's success since the election. And this is actually regarding this post here by Brad back in the beginning of January, where he did say that since the election, the Trump effect is already making crypto great again, because we saw 75% of Ripple's open roles are now US based, while over the last 4 years, the vast majority of hires were outside of the US. We also signed more US deals in the last 6 weeks of 2024 since the election than the previous 6 months. Now, what's interesting about all of this is the meetings, right? Because if this wasn't enough to get you bullish, I mean, like when we think about the meetings that have been happening with Ripple team members, okay, it's very clear. It's very clear that there is something much bigger happening behind the scenes. It feels like Ripple has truly cleared a path to becoming a very significant piece of the future US financial system. And it makes a lot of sense. Listen, we could sit here talking about how Bitcoin's going to do this, Bitcoin's going to do that. Guys, I don't see Bitcoin CEO meeting with the president. All right? I don't see Bitcoin tokenizing, billions of dollars. I don't see Bitcoin moving billions of dollars in a very efficient way. This is the facts, okay? A US-based company that is utilizing XRP and the XRP-L for most of its solutions is now meeting with this new presidential admin in a very large way, and they're actually pushing this space forward while also pushing for really I would say the momentum to really kind of brew, to step on the gas, to finally take this space seriously and get behind it. Because if we don't, there's a big issue. There's a big issue, and that issue is the fact that if we are not first, another nation will be. Because this technology is not going to disappear. It's going to grow more and more and more. But this is not the first time that Ripple has been meeting with the US government. We go back to 2024. We go back years and years where Ripple, this is Brad Garlinghouse, right, was at a significant high-level advisory group meeting of the IMF's Interdepartmental Working Group on Finance and Technology. You guys remember this? Yeah, I mean, these are financial elites, financial giants, and Brad Garlinghouse is just sitting there, just casually sitting next to all of these players. And the big question is why? Why is Ripple always involved in these meetings? Why is Ripple always tied back to these substantial names? It can't be coincidental. A lot of what we are seeing right now in this space is so planned. It feels as if we are watching a show that we can predict. Because for the last roughly, 2 years or so, almost everything has aligned perfectly to actually push Ripple forward. The last big thing, the last big obstacle, in my opinion, is that SEC case. Once that case is done, the big question that we ask is, what's about to unfold? And I think that could already technically be answered, right? With the repeal of SAB 121, the big banks saying, hey, we're ready to utilize crypto for payments. We're ready to offer crypto for, clients as well. I feel like the writing is already on the wall, especially considering the fact that Ripple, launched their institutional grade custody platform, 2 years ago when they acquired Medico. I mean, you seriously can't make this stuff up. So when we think about how significant it is that the sitting US president is now posting articles about Ripple, I think that this is very, very significant. And I think that this is one step closer to confirming that Ripple and the tech stack behind it will be implemented within the US system. It makes a lot of sense. Yes, it's technically, speculation right now, but tell me that this does not make a lot of sense to you. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys definitely like, subscribe, turn notifications on because more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord in the description below. And with that being said, guys, it's been Nick. Thanks for watching. Peace out.